Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out that the government has shut down, no paychecks for federal workers, delayed social security payments, stock markets in chaos. And I know it may sound extreme, but we are closer to that reality than you think. Today, we're going to be breaking down what's happening right now in Washington, what it means for you, and what you could do to prepare. So let's go ahead and dive in. So, right now, Congress is in a race against time. The deadline to pass a funding bill is just a few hours away. And if they fail, then boom, there is going to be a government shutdown. So here's a couple of key developments here as it relates to this current situation. So Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer plans to actually vote in favor of the House's GOP's funding bill. So this signals that they are likely to be able to get enough Democratic votes to be able to keep the government open, but it's not official yet. So if a deal isn't reached before the deadline of Friday evening, non-essential government operations will come to a halt. So what actually happens if there is a government shutdown? So when people hear about a government shutdown, they often think, oh, that doesn't affect me. But trust me, it actually does and can impact you. So here's a couple of ways that it can impact you. So some immediate impacts is going to be federal employees and government services get cut off. Also, it means for federal workers, hundreds or even thousands of government employees could be furloughed, meaning that no paychecks will be paid out until the government reopens again. Essential workers like TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and military personnel must still work without pay until the government shutdown ends. Non essential workers will be sent home, no work, no pay. If the shutdown drags on for weeks or months, government employees may struggle to pay their rent, their bills, and basic expenses. Also, there could be some Social Security and Medicare delays. So, if there is a government shutdown, um, will there be a social security payment halt, right? And the answer is no. But here's the catch, right? If you need to be able to apply for benefits or change your account information or speak to an SSA agent, you can expect some severe delays. Also, as it relates to Medicare and Medicaid, that will also continue, but staffing shortages could slow down customer service and claims processing. So while your benefits won't disappear overnight, a long shutdown could create some major headaches. Also, there could be some air travel disruption. So, TSA agents and air traffic controllers are required to work without pay, but many might call in sick or even quit. So, you could probably expect longer security lines, cancel flights, even possible delays as it relates to this. So, during the last shutdown, airports in major cities like New York and Atlanta had chaos due to staffing shortages. Airlines rely on government agencies like FFA and NTSB to be able to approve new planes, issue safety guidelines, and process paperwork. So a shutdown freezes this process, which could actually slow down airline operations. Also, as it relates to national parks, museums, and public services, are those going to be closed? So the answer is it can actually absolutely be shut down. So many national parks, monuments, museums will be shut down completely. In the past shutdowns, tourists were turned away from places like Yosemite, the Smithsonian, even the Statue of Liberty. So local economies, especially towns that rely on tourism, could actually lose millions of dollars per day if this government shutdown happens. Also, government contractors and small businesses can get hit hard. So if you work for a company that does business with the government, contracts could be paused, leading to delayed payoffs, payments, layoffs, and federal and financial struggles as well. Small businesses that rely on SBA loans or government grants might also face some major funding delays as well. During the 2018 and 2019 shutdown, thousands of small business owners couldn't access funding they needed to be able to stay afloat. So the bottom line is this: if the government shuts down, it can have ripple effects across the entire country. So now let's talk about Wall Street because investors are already panicking about this potential shutdown. So Wall Street is already on the edge of its seat. Just last week, stocks took a major hit thanks to the announcements of the new Trump tariffs, but now markets could, cautiously being optimistic, and a shutdown might be avoided. So As it relates to the stock market, the Dow Jones actually jumped up 230 points in early trading. The S&P 500 climbed by 0.9%. The Nasdaq gained 1.3%, recovering some losses from last week. But the reality of it is you shouldn't get too comfortable with this news, because if negotiations fall apart at the last minute, we could see another drop again. So why does the market care? So investors hate uncertainty. So a shutdown signals instability in the US government, shaking confidence in the economy. Government spending stops. So a shutdown means billions of dollars in government contracts and services could be put on pause, slowing down economic growth. Consumer spending drops as well. So people spend less when they fear economic instability, and that affects businesses across the board. So historically, as it relates to the shutdowns, market drops. During the 2018-2019 shutdown, the S&P 500 fell nearly 5% before recovering. The 2013 shutdown saw a 4.4% drop in the market. So if this shutdown drags on for weeks or months at a time, the market could enter into bear market territory. So will this impact your investments? So if you have money in the stock market, you shouldn't panic. You just need to be strategic. Short-term traders could expect some volatility. If you're day trading, you just want to be cautious as it relates to this. Long-term investors should still hold steady. Market dips are great opportunities to be able to get even more value in your portfolio. So you just want to maybe consider some safer investments like bonds or dividend stocks if you want stability. So if you're invested in stocks, keep an open eye on your portfolio, because the next few days could be a wild ride. All right. So if that wasn't enough as it relates to the government shutdown, we've got another factor that could shake up the economy, which is the Trump tariffs. So right now, the S&P 500, it dropped, and now it's officially entering what's called a market correction territory. But Trump refuses to back down, saying that I'm not going to bend at all. So a fresh round of tariffs is set to go into effect April 2nd, and that can make things even worse. So what does that mean for you? So what that means is it could be higher prices. Everything from electronics to groceries could cost even more. Struggling businesses, companies that rely on imports or exports, will feel a squeeze as it relates to this. A possible recession. So experts warn that the continued trade wars plus government shutdown fears could push the economy toward a downturn. So whether you're a business owner or investor or just someone buying groceries, right, this is something that you need to pay attention to and you need to watch. All right. So we've covered a couple of risks here, but what can you do to be able to protect yourself and your family from all this uncertainty? So here are three things that I recommend that you need to go ahead and focus on. So number one, just making sure that you stay informed, follow credible news sources, not just rely on social media rumors that are out there. You can go ahead and set Google alerts for key terms like government shutdown updates and Trump tariff news as well. Also, you want to plan for delays. So if you're a federal employee, you want to make sure that you save extra cash in your paychecks, just in case it gets delayed. If you rely on government programs like Social Security, you could expect a longer than usual processing time. You also want to watch the stock market, but don't panic. If you're an investor, consider diversifying your portfolio to be able to reduce risk. But if you're looking to buy stocks, market dips could be an opportunity for you, right? If you're smart about it and you are aware of which companies are actually valuable and you expect to be able to grow in the long term. So the bottom line is this, right? A government shutdown could be a mess, but you can take steps to be able to protect yourself. So I want to hear from you now. Do you think the government will actually shut down again? The deadline is coming up pretty soon here this evening. If it does, how will it impact you? Drop your comments below and let me know what you think. If you found this helpful, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe for more real-time updates on politics, money, taxes, and more. Stay informed, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.